Hey everybody, this is Petey from Spin Rack, and today I'm doing a video on if you can read it from the edges of the spine or the strip on the side. I'm doing video on the Jack Kirby collector. Now this book of mine here looks like it's been through everything, right? But at some point when I went to the comic store, I saw a pamphlet. It was of it's like almost seemed like typewriting paper, a little more consistency. Same paper as this. There was a pamphlet like this of the Kirby collector, right? The Jack Kirby collector. So literally in this type of paper, and it was like, I don't know, 20 pages. And then at some point it became like a magazine, and at some point they would collect some of the issues. This is 1 through 9. And then as I collected the magazine version, by the time it got to issue 50, it became this treasury type of thing. Now, I just did a Legion thing, just to give you an idea of size. It's a little bigger than the DC and Marvel Treasury editions. But I think Kirby's artwork worked really good in Treasury. I always say his store worked the best. But we're going to go through this Marvel one first, right? And then I'll do another video on the other, right? So here they have all of the other books that the Kirby collector does. They have a bunch of books right now, draw, rough stuff. I don't have this. I don't have the All-Star Companion. But I have most of the Modern Masters that they're all pretty much priceless. Even though some of them cost more now, you should go out and check it out, right? So we get kind of Kirby's original art in this thing. Now, we've done a bunch of things, hashing out Stanley and Jack. This is the unabashed Kirby thing, right? Now, the hard part is, this is you see there's a ton of articles, but it's more of like how you feel outside of getting some of the creators like Mark Evaner, Roy Thomas. Some of those guys will give you more information, but a lot of times, a lot of the fans write in good articles about how they feel. It's they could feel that Jack did more than Stan did, but we get to see some pencils of that Kirby did in the 80s, right? We got some plots listed there. And we got a demon page right here. Pencils of Mark Moonrider. Right, the Boy Commandos. This is getting the Simon and Kirby when they were synonymous. If you see any of Simon's art, it looks similar. So I think Simon did some inking here, possibly the faces, but he was definitely a Kirby collaborator. The people give him less and less. We have here, which was a layout, probably stick figures, and Kirby would give the description, right? I think this is what they listed. The Dingbats of Danger Street, which is kind of like the Sweat Hogs, but a Kirby version, not exactly the same characters. We get to see this later issue, which was kind of chopped up with the Kirby and John Buscema drawing, right? So here we have the printed version and the original version, right? So we have all this stuff happening, and then we have so this was kind of chopped away to add a storyline, so we get to see this is all the cool stuff we kind of get to see in here. Pencils from the New Gods, the Forever People, like It's a Devil Ants. The Newsboy Legion. This would be in the Superman kind of Jimmy Olsen comic. That's why I said Superboy. Another Jimmy Olsen page. We got Superman here. Jack's Kirby over here, right? Sometimes people say that a lot of the young people he was saying, some of the people he was meeting that were from in the 70s, right? We got another. What is this one? I'm not sure which this one is. It probably says it on the other page, right? But this is really cool. You know, I always loved these type of panels that Kirby would do. We get the what if the Marvel bullpen with the Fantastic Four. We got a superpowers page when they draw, I think, the second series. No, it was Roxy's Raiders. But this is superpowers. Roxy's Raiders was, I guess it's these pages. I've never seen this book. Right? It's from 1980s. Right? And then we have Mark Evaner. He'll give you some tidbits and some stuff. I think she's talking about Reed's old face, that sort of thing. Give you some tidbits about that. So that's always kind of required reading, especially during this period before it became a heavily Stan versus Jack sort of period. How Kirby would do this, lay out and add some of his backgrounds to it. A lot of people attributed the background here to Neil Adams, but Kirby was always doing kind of collages. And then we have an interview with John Romita Jr. He was doing the Eternals, right? And we have Neil Gaiman kind of making fun of Ike Harris. I think that's one of the best parts of the book. Kirby Obscura. This is some pages, I think, from Atlas. Kirby wrote the Yellow Claw, right? So when he first came to Marvel, Stan let him write a book by himself, but Stan was more keen in his own writing. And then we get a Boy Explorers book, and this is just one of the more action-packed kids stories. Back when Kirby drew kids like really young, and fun-loving. So we get to see the whole issue in black and white here, right? I should turn it the other way, but just gonna quickly show you this sort of thing, right? To the end, we get Kirby's Clark Kent. Another interview. There's something else I wanted to show here. More Eternals. I'm hoping it is in this book. Right? Otherwise, I'm going to have to do New Gods after this. Kirby as a genre. And it would show you kind of people using the Kirby stuff later. Right? The Atomics. And William Murray. He's a comic historian. Right? And he's pointing out some of the things that he pointed out a lot of the history between characters and see how much of this I think Claw was originally named Ahab. So it was heavily edited by Stan, right? So then we have the original page, an ink page. Oh, here we go. So this is what I brought you here for. So I'm going to do the other one in a separate video, right? So we have Kirby doing his original design for Herbie for the cartoon. So we also have, which I think is the last FF work and it's owned by Marvel. I mean, I just wish they would take it and they do like an artist edition of this last these last sort of things that he did, like trying to put it together. Could be done like this, right? This is a good dynamic for it. Kind of having his storyboards, which didn't always work out for the cartoon, as they say. For some reason, it didn't work out. How Kirby works and how the storyboarding works. But we have him doing the FF again, right? And even though it doesn't have the torch, we get to see Kirby's kind of last tale, which Marvel's trying to get him to come back to the FF to do one last tale. But we have all of this, right? So always secretly wanted Alex Ross to kind of do something over these pages, but I think he probably would do too much to it. So it better be printed as is, right? If they did like an artist edition of that, might not be. I guess they'd have to print like 50 of them to make them like, you know, worth a ton of money, right? So even though they say he wasn't fit for doing storyboards, we have all these storyboards that he did. Like, and this is the takeoff of Infant Terrible, right? And then we get some natural moments, and then we get some other stuff you can buy, right? And then a letter page and some other stuff you can get, right? So, and we get this nice back page of the post. So yeah, this is my first one of these. I guess I could do more. I will do this one. I think it has some cool New God stuff in it. So it has some interviews, but I'm not gonna really go through the interviews about people who took over. But it'd be cool to look at. Spin Rack out.